Okay, Tim, what are you doing?
I can't get my wrench under there.
You can get out of the way. I'll do it for you. I'll show you how.
Just saying.
Don't lose those things, by the way. Make sure you tighten them down correctly. All right, so this is the Power Beyond kit for the 7810. It's pretty straightforward. Be careful you don't lose that O-ring. Basically, you get 3 hoses and come down here, and then the fill spout right there is your case drain. So they've given me a new one, or sold me a new one, but he's putting all these in here. Be careful. Yeah, but we're doing this, and the Power Beyond kit for this one, for some reason, Adam at Deer Country didn't get me the right valve. As a matter of fact, he didn't get me a valve at all. I guess he thought that it was going to go through hydromosis. Hydromosis, I think that's a new word. But basically, right here, I have to take one of these off of here. This selective control valve will come off, and I will sandwich the new Power Beyond valve onto it, and voila, we should be good. Hopefully. It's only another $300 fucking dollars. But anyways, Joe's having problems here taking the hitch off. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got to show the boy how to do it. Okay.
The socket's not.
That's okay.
Tell me when I'm on top.
Oh, we actually had that on.
I pressed record.
Oh, good. Okay, so that made it a lot easier. Oh, fuck yeah.
I just stepped in my gloves. My gas station gloves.
What?
Almost get that gun back going.
Gas station gloves.
I bought them at a gas station.
Okay, so before people get all upset about me doing this job, because I'm taking the Superior English hitch off, the Superior English hitch, and I will explain a little bit at the very end of the video while I am in the shop, not while I'm doing this voiceover, but the that hitch is not DOT approved here in the United States of America. Now, for the weird event that something should happen, you know, catastrophic or not so good, you could just say not so good, thing that could happen, like the hitch comes undone somehow, or something breaks on the hitch in a wagon, or implement goes flying down a highway and kills somebody, and my ass is in a sling, and I don't even believe that the insurance company that I have would cover me under that, and I would probably end up in jail for attempted manslaughter, knowing that the hitch was not designed for the United States. And I think that's partially what Deere had in mind when they sent me that nastygram, which I have copies of right here on the right hand side. Someday I will, if you ask nicely, I will read them aloud on here. And yeah, so these hitches are put on here pretty ruggedly. I will say they're put on there probably better than the drawbars that the American Standard drawbars or DOT approved drawbars are here. There's 4 bolts on the front and 4 bolts on the back of the drawbar support on the American side of it. And on the English hitch, there's actually 4 bolts in the front, and then there's 6 bolts in the back. 2 that come, I think there's 6. No, there is only 4. I'm sorry. It's the same number of bolts, but they're put in a different position. So the bolts that are for the regular drawbar, the one that United States model drawbar or even the Central European drawbars, or just the straight drawbars, not the pickup drawbar. They have 4 bolts that go from the bottom up in the very rear of the tractor, whereas on the English hitch there's 2 that are on the bottom and then 2 that go into the rear face of the case. So not only do you put pressure on the head, you also get pressure on the sides for shear. I highly doubt that those would break. My opinion on the drawbar for the English hitch or drawbar is it's a little anemic at the very end of it. And I did hook the baler to the tractor, the HDP 1290 HDP high speed. I did hook it to that hitch, and it was like, oh my god, there's no way that this thing is it may be strong enough because it is hammer forged steel, but it just seemed like the hole isn't big enough for one thing, to mount the thing up to the tractor, but the length of it wasn't long enough. I think the English hitch only stuck out the back 16 inches, where the American hitch is 4 inches farther back. The power takeoff shaft wouldn't even fit on there. I couldn't put it on, and that was a big issue because what do you do when you can't put the power takeoff shaft on? Now, I've got this hitch not extended out as far as possible. The new drawbar isn't extended out as far back as possible, but it is extended back quite a distance because, well, as far as I can get it now, there is 2 more holes I can move the whole entire assembly back, but there's a bushing that I would have to purchase and shove up in there. And I may do that if, somebody saw my ass crack. Can you believe that? Oh my God. Anyway, that was for Tim to get him kicked off of his Instagram. I think it was Instagram, but it may have been YouTube. I'm not sure. If you don't know what Tim's YouTube channel is, it's Tim Pandy. It's Tim Pandy, Timpandy. That's what it is. So anyway, the other thing was that the drawbar for the English hitch was 16.5 inches off the ground, whereas the American version was 19.5 inches off the ground to the top of the drawbar. So that made a big difference also in, am I going to be using this machine to run the baler, or am I not going to be using this machine to run the baler? Am I going to be, you really want that drawbar off the ground, which kind of surprised me with the English hitch. I thought it should have been higher than that. For the simple reason is, the higher the drawbar, the more weight you do get. It changes the center of gravity, and you get more weight to the rear wheels. Now, I know the English and most of the European guys have these huge weights that they put up on the front of the tractors, and this 7530 is set up for that. I didn't buy one. I would love to buy one. I would love to have it shipped here. As a matter of fact, the hitch that I just took off of here, if someone over in England wants to swap me, and even swap, they pay the shipping of the big weight here. I'll pay the shipping of the hitch over there, and then you can have it. So, anyways, enjoy the rest of the video.
We're finished. Timothy and Joe took off for home. I forgot to pick up this camera, but for the most part, we did like this rear to rear. You see the 7530 here, and you see the 7810. Okay, so John Deere did not give me everything that I needed for my Power Beyond for the 7530. That's in here. But they did give me everything I needed for the 7810 for the Power Beyond. The problem with the Power Beyond for the 7810 and the 7530 is that they have the half inch lines. And they're not, they're the half-inch lines. They're not the 3/4 inch ones. So, no big deal, I guess. The case drain is this guy here. This is the pressure, this is the return, this is the case drain, and this is a sensing valve, sensing line. Basically, it's just a very simple thing right there that you bolt on. And this is the case drain for the 7810 that goes into this neck here, what they're calling the motor return line. So it's basically just a new neck. The old neck is there, right there. So the new neck with the pipe into it, a hose, and this guy here to go there. That thing is set up for the flat face that is already on the stack wagon. So this tractor is pretty much set up. I just have to get some fittings to change those hoses over, adapters to make them smaller from larger. This, I took off the English hitch and I put on the American hitch. This job was really easy. was a lot cheaper than the one for the 70 or the 8530. Obviously, because I didn't get a hammer strap, and there's going to be the hitch for this. The hitch here, this is the hitch for the stack wagon, and this is a universal hitch. I'm telling you, it's the same thing as on the old stack wagon. It's the same for the new one, and I'm not going to use that. I'm going to build something very different for all of these tractors. It'll fit that one, it'll fit that one, it'll fit any of them. So this went down pretty easy, and I will be selling this unit here. I'm going to pressure wash it off. I've got the hoses for it somewhere. Joseph put them right there. I'm going to sell this thing. So if anybody in England is looking for a pickup hitch for a 7530 or any of the 6000, the 6930s, any 6030 series tractors, and the 6000 R series tractors, this will fit that. So if you're in England and you're looking for one of these pickup hitches, I have it. Everything's here. I will put it in a box. I'll ship it to England. Can't be that expensive, right? It's just freight, right? Anyways, let me know about that. Everything on this tractor is ready to go. I just have to put that third link on, put the third link back on here. I did do some work up here, reattached that. I found the bolt. I think if you saw Tim's live stream, this piece here is the cable that goes to up in there. I can remove that and ship that with that if you're interested. If not, well, it goes on the scrap heap because it's no good to me. Over here in the States, we don't use them. Probably been risking a lot by using this thing in the United States, because if something happened and that disconnected from my tractor and a hitch disc broke or something happened while I was on the road, I would more than likely be sued to death. I'd lose the farm over that hitch. So that was one of the main reasons I went back to the American style hitch, or well, I guess it's the old standard drawbar style hitches. I know there's a lot of guys that think that these things are way better than what that is, but that is DOT approved here in the United States, and that is not. So anyways, thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe for more, and thanks for watching. I really appreciate every single one of you. Bye-bye.